been creating animation with motion capture for over 25 years. I started with an early wired magnetic system with a tiny 8-foot capture area and soon moved on to camera-based optical systems. Over the years, most of my work was directing performers until I recently installed my own Vicon system at our studio in Orlando. Then my friend at Reallusion heard about our new system and asked if we had any ideas for a new motion pack for iClone and ActorCore. We went through a lot of ideas, but it was like, nope, they already did this and they already thought of that. But what they didn't have were crowd motions for a blockbuster disaster movie. I'm a big fan of these movies, and I love huge scenes where lots of people are trying to get away from an evil robot or a monster or an asteroid. And you can find a lot of data sets of people running, but they don't ever look particularly scared. We also thought this idea would work well with ActorCore because obviously you need a lot of people to make a crowd, and they have awesome characters from all walks of life. These characters are computationally light, so you can use a lot of them at the same time. We also know that crowds don't just run away. They often get hurt while doing so, and that means we're gonna need to do some stunts. So I brought in Jupe Katana. Jupe is a veteran stuntman who has choreographed action for film, television, and theme park shows.
The product is ultimately fabulous and fantastic and awesome. So I'm always concerned about trying to balance, let's be as safe as possible, but also let's try to get as much out of that as we can.
Jupe assembled an amazing team of stunt performers. The bigger scenes were captured at Studio 500 on the campus of the University of Central Florida. For a scene with people running over cars, we built wooden platforms based on measurements from the actual car asset we plan to use. No need to build the whole car, just the part people will step on. So for our demo, we were going to need a giant lobster kaiju.
When I was given the assignment, I was told to make a lobster monster. And then I collaborated with my friend Nelson, who's also a big kaiju person on the team, about the designs that we should do. And we both agreed that maybe something more reminiscent of Ebera from Showa, but I kind of went more Final Wars. Yes, it is a guy in a suit. The actual skeleton and the model had to fit within the motion capture parameters that we needed for it to work. One of the best parts of the spring-mode system is the free secondary motion that we get from it all. The antenna, the tail, those were all done with the spring-mode system. If you look back at the old Toho movies, all those are people in suits that are dancing around knocking down miniature buildings. And that's an area of filmmaking that I love, and I was really happy I was able to pay tribute to that.
Reallusion asked us to take this opportunity to see if editing this data could be done in iClone instead of MotionBuilder. At first that sounded a little unlikely, but as we learned more about the awesome editing tools Reallusion has created over its 20-year history, the more likely it became. What makes them awesome is the simplicity. Getting motion on a character in most other programs is a complicated multi-step process of importing the data, matching the character pose, linking the joints, characterizing the target, and making adjustments. In iClone, you just drag a motion clip onto the character, and that's it. As with any mocap, there was cleanup. I typically only change what the camera sees, but since we didn't know how people would be photographing these scenes, we standardized the clips to look good from any angle. iClone has a great tool for smoothing out the data on the entire performance or on just specific trouble spots. It's also common for feet to penetrate the ground or the toe to push through the floor. We followed the steps for ground leveling, and it helped plant the feet firmly on the ground. It also helped the toes roll off cleanly. But with complex mechanical interactions, like climbing a ladder or walking upstairs, you have to make some adjustments. The Reach Target tool is great for easing in and out of a correction while maintaining the motion's flow. It also helps lock down a character's grasp on objects or structures. Then we created motion loops so that high falls and runs and stair climbs can be extended to match our users' needs quickly and easily. But the simplicity doesn't mean these tools are not powerful or flexible, because they are. I was often amazed at how tools could be used in combination with each other. In this clip, we had ground leveling in the feet, reach targets keeping hands in place, and animation layers to correct the elbows and constraint relationships between the woman and her wheelchair. iClone won't do everything MotionBuilder does, but it does almost everything people are using MotionBuilder to do, with a fast workflow and an even faster learning curve. There are so many great tutorials on the Reallusion website that break down how to turn really rough data into smooth, focused storytelling. So back to our clips. Once the editing was done, we started to build out our demo, which was also a test drive for these clips. I like to start with the foreground. Stories are told across many shots. In this example, the idea of the shot is that people are so scared they're running over cars. A hero character like Kevin or someone you made in Character Creator will work great here in the foreground. Once you have the camera and the actors the way you want them, this could be the whole shot. You want to fill out the frame with other actions to support the idea that everyone is in danger. For this, we have the chaos loops. They're people moving chaotically. They don't really go anywhere or do anything except panic. Though if you stay on them too long, it can start to loop weird. They're meant to be revealed in bits and pieces and break the edges of the scenes. iClone has some other tools that can add even more production value to your scenes. Check out Motion Director. You can record a walk while plotting the character's direction with a game controller. And puppeteering. You can use your mouse as an input device to control facial expressions, hand gestures, and more. I also love AccuLips. It creates lip sync this good from just an audio clip. In all, we created 60 clips that can add cinematic scope to your projects, and not just iClone projects. The motion packs and ActorCore characters are ready for use in Maya, Max, Blender, Unity, and Unreal. We hope you have as much fun working with these motion clips as we had making them. And remember, this is your movie. Create something amazing.